everybody, it's Miss Angie from the Portage Public Library, and today on Simple Snacks with Miss Angie, we're going to make brownies. So this recipe is something that you could just mix up all the dry ingredients and then give someone a recipe card with what to add to it, and then you could give it as a gift to someone. So you could put that in a jar or in a baggie. But we're going to actually just make them today. So before we start cooking, we always want to look at our recipe and make sure we have all of our ingredients and that we have all of our measuring tools ready. And we want to make sure that we wash our hands so then we can get ready to bake. So for the brownies today, we're going to need flour, sugar, cocoa powder, which makes them chocolatey, some salt, and some baking powder. Those are our dry ingredients. And then for our wet ingredients, we'll use eggs, vanilla, and oil. So that's all that we need. So let's get started. So first we're going to need flour, and we need a half a cup of flour. And I'm going to use a spoon to scoop it into my measuring cup so that I don't get too much flour. And then we're just going to level it off, put that in our bowl. Okay, and then this recipe calls for a cup of sugar. Scoop that in here. There's our sugar. Alright, and then to make it chocolatey, we need our cocoa powder. So this is just regular cocoa powder. They do sell a dark chocolate, which happens to be my favorite. You could make the brownies with that, but today we're going to use this. And we need a third cup. So I'm going to use another spoon and scoop it out of my container into my third cup. We'll just kind of level it off a little bit. Alright, we'll dump that in. And then we have to add in our salt and baking powder. And I think they're the same. They're both 1/4 of a teaspoon, which I don't happen to have. So we're just going to wing it. Put in 1/4 of a teaspoon of that. Okay. This is actually a teaspoon, but I'm just going to use about 1/4 of it. Alright, so that is our dry ingredients. So then I'm going to take a whisk and I'm going to just mix them all together. So this is the part where you could take this all mixed up and put it in a baggie and give it to someone, or you could layer it in a jar. That could look really nice to give to someone. Alright, so everything looks pretty well mixed together. So in a separate container, move that to the side, I'm going to do my wet ingredients, which is 2 eggs, I like to do them in a separate bowl in case you maybe get a bunch of shells in there. Then I'm just going to take a fork and kind of beat them up a little bit just to break up the yolk. Alright. So now the rest of our wet ingredients is a half a cup of oil. And then we will add in our vanilla. Alright, then I'm just going to give that a quick mix. It's not going to really mix together a lot. Alright, then we get our dry ingredients back. And we're going to take our wet ingredients. We're going to pour those in. I like to take a rubber spatula and get all of that in there so you have enough wet ingredients to mix into the dry. Alright, then you just get your wooden spoon and you're just going to stir it around until all the dry is mixed into your wet ingredients. And this actually gets pretty thick and fudgy, which is pretty good for a brownie, thick and fudgy. Alright, so make sure you get all of your cocoa powder mixed in and all of your flour and sugar. Alright, that looks really good. So then you're going to bake this in an 8x8 pan. And it says to spray the pan so that your brownies don't stick. So we're going to spray this. And then I'm going to take my spatula again, scrape this off. I don't want to miss any of the chocolate. And then we're going to pour this into our pan. All right. And then you're going to need to spread it around so that it's all over the bottom of your pan. So you can see, get it all into the corners. So you want to have your oven preheated at 350 degrees. And then you're going to bake this in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes until the center is done. You might need to check it with a toothpick. And then I'm going to come over here and show you one I already made earlier. So here are some brownies that I made earlier, and I already cut them up. I'm going to try to scoop one out. Try the corner piece. Sometimes they're hard to get out of the pan without mushing them up. Oh yeah, see? Look at that. Try to get the other one out too. Alright, so there you go. Homemade brownies. I think it would taste really good with some ice cream. I will post this recipe on Facebook. Let me know how you liked it. See if you would add any chocolate chips to yours or any other fun ingredients. We'll see you next time. Bye.